and welcome to the final edition of the National League Rugby Review Show for the 2021-22 season. I'm at the Rock, home to National One side Rosslyn Park on the day of their annual Floodlit Sevens Festival. This is where my passion for National League Rugby started over 6.5 years ago, so it seemed like a fitting place to bring the debut season of the review show to an end. We'll be looking back on all three leagues, but before that there were a couple of loose ends to wrap up.
Cinderford's 200-mile journey north looked set for 5 points at the break with 4 tries, Nathan Taylor grabbing 2 to top the scoring charts. But Leeds Tykes were a different side after the restart, Andrew Lawson getting them started on an uphill task at the Sycamores. Mike Austin grabbed a 5th for the Foresters, but pack power would prevail, Tykes' Will Smith completing the comeback for a draw. It was all about second place up north, and Rotherham Titans used their early kick-off to maximise advantage, Harry Dunn with a hat-trick. 2 more tries meant 2 losses in 2 weeks for Sheffield Tigers against Titans, but Harrison Astley's flying effort gave their fans something to cheer. The game marked a farewell to legend Colin Quigley, the retiring front rower given the last penalty kick in front of the Clifton Lane faithful. They took second from Sedgley Park, who retook it in the first 20 minutes with 5 tries, captain Matt Riley capping it off. 33-0 down, host Bournville got restarted in the best way with a sensational try, finished off by Ed Dawson. While the Chocos scored 3 more, Park took 3 for the half-century, Danny Openshaw weaving his way through. And Guernsey's final away trip looked profitable at half-time, Joe Anderson helping them lead by 2 points. It was another game of 2 halves though, as Leicester Lions scored 5 scintillating tries for victory, Dan Martin grabbing 2. The result sees Leicester Lions go unbeaten at home since the start of September, Will Helliwell also taking a brace in stunning style. So that's a wrap on the 2021-22 match action. Leeds Tykes go unbeaten in their last 4 for National One survival. Rotherham Titans and Sedgley Park took just over 2,000 points between them for a thrilling race to the final whistle for second. While Leicester Lions end unbeaten in 8, Guernsey certainly brought the entertainment factor back to Nat2 South this season.
In the first of our season reviews, National One delivered tight races at the top and bottom of the table.
A big impact was made on the third tier before a try was scored as Old Elthamians withdrew for financial reasons in August 2021. Some of those players went to Rosslyn Park, who made their intent clear in round 1 against Plymouth Albion. The Southwesterners would struggle this year, something Taunton Titans wouldn't do at the start, with impressive debut National One wins. Rams ended the 2019-20 season, their first in National One, second, and were leading the way when they beat Park in October. But Cinderford were proving formidable, with Nathan Taylor in their pack going unbeaten until the end of the month. The entertainment factor was found at Birmingham Moseley, delivering several dramatic games at Billesley Common in a strong start. But the wheels came off in November, something also happening to Bishop Stortford with 1 win in 7 at the end of the month. With Christmas coming, Cambridge's strong run had put them in the top 5, while Tunbridge Juddion's luck was low. 2022 wasn't turning out to be Chinner's year, losing half of their home fixtures to end up mid-table and miss competing for promotion. But the force from the northwest was starting to grow, with Caldy taking a crucial and narrow win from leaders Cinderford. While Sale FC's Fergus Mulcrone stole the show to ensure Rosslyn Park would go on a rough spring run. Darlington Moden Park looked safe in March, and Blackheath's win over Park, a big upset on Derby Day, gave them hope as the title chasers despaired. They'd go on to lose to Caldy the next week, setting up a victory parade for the Wirral side. That would be secured on a huge day at Peyton Field against Sale FC, one kick of Ben Jones' boot propelling them to the championship. At the other end, TJ's and Blackheath's run ended in relegation, but Leeds Tykes' dangerous living had taken it to the wire. Caldy went up with just 3 losses since September 2019. Rosslyn Park took third for a third year running, while Cambridge and Cinderford had club history high finishes. Taunton ended up right in the middle, while the 7 teams below them were only separated by 12 points. Blackheath went down after 18 years in the third tier, along with Nat 1 debutants Tonbridge Juddians. Leeds Tykes, DMP and Plymouth Albion needed late pushes to survive.
There would be a war of attrition in National 2 North, ending with history on the banks of the Humber.
New faces in the league can bring surprises, something Bournville did with 2 big wins to kickstart their debut 4th-tier campaign. But experience is the key more often than not, something Fowl showed with 27 tries in their first 4 games, 12 coming against Harrogate. Hull Ionians and Rotherham Titans did have plenty of ability to be at the top this season, but the Clifton Lane side had the edge come October. Another former Nat 1 side, Loughborough Students, had a more mixed time, with Sheffield Tigers having a similar fate. It was fellow Midlands side Stourbridge with the scoring touch, putting 9 past Huddersfield in a warning that had to be heeded. Leaders Sedgley Park didn't get the message though, letting victory slip in dramatic style at Staunton Park. And it was against the Tigers that Hull started to put their stamp on the league, with an eye-catching win at Park Lane. While Chester were winning the mid-table battle and Bladen suffering winter blues at the bottom, the top 6 was set by halfway. The first week of January was crucial, with Titans edging Sedgley Park and Hull smashing Stourbridge. Spring would be mostly costly to Hull Ionians, losing to all the top 3 to end their chances of promotion. It was a different story for their city rivals, hammering Tynedale for 10 to send a message, motivating the North Easterners to the top half. Gary Pearce's boys would beat Rotherham Titans and Sedgley Park, basking in an unbeaten run from the end of October. While Luctonians missed out narrowly on wins against the same opponents, their strong finish made them one of the in-form sides. Consistency was the key for the Rising Stars on the banks of the Humber, beating rivals Ionians for a historic promotion. And Wharfdale had the say on second place, beating Rotherham Titans to hand Sedgley Park the silver medal. Hull march into a first ever National 1 campaign with only 3 losses this season. The chasing pack had 20 points between them. Tynedale and Luctonians finished in the top half after cutting through the 3-way mid-table battle. Bournville's debut season ends with 13th. Bladen and Huddersfield had strong moments, but the changes are already underway at Harrogate.
Four teams would battle it out for National 2 South promotion, but a Storm from Surrey secured the title.
71-0 at Station Road in round 1 taught us 2 things. Clifton were going for promotion and Barnstable faced a challenge. It was a different start for Guernsey though, taking impressive wins including the trip to Shaftesbury Park. Having another stab at promotion were Redruth, putting out Old Albanian's early flame with a narrow win to stay in the top 3. October marked a sticky patch for Esher, taking a draw against Barnes as they struggled to hold on to wins. The in-form side were the youngsters of Worthing Raiders. They were able to get past the Londoners to be top in the first third. but there was something in the water of the Thames at Henley, the club pulling together to be in a top 4 contest come Christmas. Rochford 100 were settling into a rhythm in their first Nat 2 South campaign, taking the first Essex derby in style. The new year would get started with a bang as Barnes once again had an impact at the top, this time in deepest Cornwall at Redruth. Up the road in Bristol, Clifton were proving unstoppable as they led the way, cementing their position against Henley. February brought good news for Westcliff, finally getting their first win, while Bury St Edmunds were finding form to end top half. It also started to show the dominance of Esher, their win against Redruth meaning they were closing in on the top. And they had it on a dramatic trip to Worthing, leading the way in March for the first time in their campaign. As Redruth stayed in the hunt against Canterbury, the Raiders slipped up on a trip to ever-competitive Hinckley. It was probably Ding's Crusaders who had the biggest say, beating Clifton to put Esher on the way to promotion in round 30. Leicester Lions also played their part against Redruth, on the way to an impressive season with just 1 loss at home in 15. A title decided on the last day. Esher returned to National 1 after 3 years away. Redruth and Worthing Raiders' waits continue, while Clifton show more upward motion. Leicester Lions were the best of the rest. Henley Hawks fell away after a strong start, with the middle 6 separated by 17 points. Westcliff waited until the last day to get off the bottom of the table in a close contest with Barnstable.
We've seen some incredible scores in the 3rd and 4th tier. Here are our picks for the Try the Season competition. So there's the 8 tries, 1 for each month in this incredible season. Keep an eye on National League Rugby's social media channels on how to vote. And also keep your eyes peeled for the National League Rugby Review survey. We want to know what you love from the show this year and what you'd like to see differently next season so we can make the show even better. Well, what a season it's been in National League Rugby. We've had drama, entertainment, twists and turns, and moments to take our breath away. Thank you so much for subscribing to the National League Rugby Review show this season. A good one to be in the black for Caldy, Hull and Esher. We can't wait for till September where we get to do it all over again, and we certainly hope to see you there. Lockdown brought semi-pro rugby to a halt, with teams separated, grounds quiet and clubhouses empty. But that's all about to change.
After such a long hiatus, it's almost impossible to believe that this weekend we finally get underway. It almost feels like you've come home.
New faces, new logo, new show. The season is underway. Rosslyn Park run riot at Brickfields. The celebrations are wild. Brilliant from Buskin. That's how you finish a game of rugby. And what has just happened? Blistering, brilliant, dramatic rugby. Cinderford moving, Cinderford diving, Cinderford scoring. And he's only got it, done it for a 1-point win. A 1-point win. David Hyde collapsed on the pitch. He passed away in hospital last night. Tributes have poured in throughout the rugby community.
He was a gentle giant, a friend to many, and will be missed by all.
Balls get thrown around and people enjoy it, and it has a great family club atmosphere.
That is simply sensational. Worthing side through.
The rugby is a massive thing for people. It's what people turn out every week in these horrible conditions for, because they've got something to to go out and to compete for.
That's the cherry on top of the cake.
You know, you can go down to your local rugby club and watch national rugby on a Saturday afternoon and have a really good time and watch some quality rugby, because there are some quality players in these leagues.
It's a fantastic level of rugby to play for any semi-professional rugby players.
Oh, he's got away from both of them, and it's going to be Ferguson and Crow to win it for Sale FC in the death.
Every week, everyone's in the game. You don't know, you've got to prepare, whether it's playing bottom of the league or top of the league, you've got to prepare exactly the same.
It's a fantastic league, and yeah, we're just really happy to be a part of it.
Going into Lavin, there's a slip that could let Dan Rowland through, right into the corner. He bounces and he scores. It's a win in white for Esher. It's Hull's march to history that continues. It's a packed day for decision day in National 1. Ben Jones to kick Caldy to the championship. Payton Field has become the promised land as Caldy have won National 1.
I don't think anyone in the club thought this would ever happen, but it has.
These lads have got plenty of heart, and we've come good at the end of the last 2 or 3 games and found a way to win, which we've still got to be really proud of them, really.
National 1, here we go.
And they have worked really hard through good times and bad times this season.
We can describe the season in just 3 words.
Absolutely bloody excellent.